Hey everyone, JSD Cool here, and welcome back to another episode of Coolcraft Season 7. Now, in the last episode, I received this strange sign right here, right at the end of the episode, telling me that I must provide sacrifice. And in between episodes, this other sign has appeared here saying, "At the altar." I don't know what that means, and I'm just going to choose to ignore that for now and talk about what else we did in the previous episode. So, actually, at the very end of the episode, before I was rudely interrupted by that, I was going to get materials to build this little slime block launcher here to, I don't know, make it a little bit more fancy to exit my base area here for now. Again, hopefully I get wind charges that I could use in the future, but that's a very finite resource that I'd have to AFK for a while for. Anyhow, regardless of that, this works pretty well. You just come in here and then whoop, you're out. More importantly, in the last episode, I built this mob farm here to hopefully sustain us through the season, and by hopefully I mean it will. It's the same design I've kind of built since Season 2 because, well, it works. At some point I did have this overflow mechanism. I don't remember if I talked about that on camera, but yes. I don't think I've AFK'd at this since the last episode, and it's still got a lot of resources. Anyhow, in this episode, I am going to be doing something a bit more ambitious, or at least attempting to. I am going to attempt to automate the Ender Dragon fight to the best extent possible. However, to do that, I'm gonna need a bunch of cobblestone, at least to make pistons and smelt into stone for repeaters and such. So I'm gonna start by making a cobblestone farm generator automatic thing. Alright, here is my very fancy design for a cobblestone generator, which is based off a design I've seen floating around on YouTube. Well, based off the concept of the design that I've seen floating around on YouTube. And I have no idea who originally designed this, or this concept, but I'm the one who built this specific iteration of it. So anyhow, what is this? So, well, it's a cobblestone generator. We have columns of lava and waterlogged leaves next to each other. The lava will just flow and create all this cobblestone around the leaves, apart from on the end. That's just to keep the cobblestone from flowing out. We have a TNT duper here that drops down the center onto that waterlogged leaf in the center and blows up all the cobblestone. Here, I'll turn it on so you can see that it works. And theoretically, the TNT is perfectly timed to blow up right after cobblestone gets regenerated. A lot of that cobblestone probably goes back into the lava, so, you know, not the most efficient thing ever. But it generally works. Although sometimes, like you can see down here, the TNT somehow blasts part of this area underneath the areas here. Like I installed this obsidian underneath the lava to prevent lava spills from happening. But yeah, I've run it for a while. We got a bunch of cobblestone. Should be sufficient to store us for now. Eventually, once we make a shulker farm, I will come back and actually shulker box all the stuff. But yeah, next up we need to do a little bit of more stuff before we can automate the dragon. You see, we kind of need to spawn the dragon to automate the dragon, and to do that, we need blaze rods and ghast tears on pretty large quantities. So, ghast farm time, I guess. Step 1 in building this ghast farm is going to be getting to the roof of the nether, and I gotta figure out where I'm doing that, because we haven't done that yet. Alright, now that I've gotten up to the roof of the nether, which actually wasn't too hard this time, the bedrock breaking worked first time, and I actually found this really nice spot that goes directly all the way up, and, although, yeah, there was this cave that just kind of went right up here as well, so I had to cover over that. Anyhow, now that we've done that, the next step is to find a Soul Sand Valley biome to actually build this thing in. And then I suppose I actually have to get the resources to build this thing. That'd be important. Okay, I've acquired everything I need to build this, including the powdered snow. That was a kind of an adventure to get on. I had to fly very far to find any powdered snow, really. So yeah, that was fun. Also, I've started to have some issues with my CPU now. It's like my computer just like randomly stops and turns off and turns back on. This is very annoying. This farm is, you know, pretty simple as it is an early game, and to be fair, I just looked at some thumbnails of YouTube videos, and like 3 different ones had basically this farm design on it, so I just built my own version of it. But you know, here, let's get a little bit closer. Now, this thing is actually pretty slow, but it is working, as you can see. So, oh, it's also very loud when you get close to it. So, pretty basically, there's a floor that only ghast can spawn on here, and then there's powdered stone on the ceiling. Ghast spawn, they they freeze to death in the powdered snow, and then there's a hopper minecart down here that'll pick stuff up and put it in these chests. Yeah, very simple. It's also kind of slow, so I'm gonna have to AFK here for a long time to get enough gas tiers to actually do anything useful. I also should put like a ladder on this pillar. Yeah, those are things for future me to do. Anyhow, next up, I guess, is a blaze farm, and those are at least a little bit simpler to build. Well, much more dangerous. And my helmet broke while I was building this, so that was very annoying. Okay, so I've gone and built the blaze farm. It's nothing too special, too groundbreaking. Here, we'll go into spectator mode and check it out here. Oh yeah, I got a mini HUD thing around it. I apparently didn't dig this thing out as far as I needed to, but oh well, it doesn't really affect anything. But yeah, spawners here, they drop down into the lava pushes them into this hole where I can kill them. Interestingly, I actually have to stand right here in order to activate the spawner. Now, the biggest problem with this farm right now is actually I will die of starvation very quickly at this farm. Like, I tried to AFK at this farm last night, and I died of starvation in less than 2 hours of running this farm. So yeah, that's something I gotta keep in mind. But with how much I actually did run the farm, here we'll go down here to the little storage area. I did get a few stacks of blaze rods, so you know it's decent, and this will be enough for our purposes today. So I guess with that out of the way, let's actually go to the end and start building this contraption. Alright, construction wasn't all that hard. I mean, it's not all that massive of a thing, just kind of far above. Now, I will explain how all this thing, as I was saying, you get 4 end crystals, you place them around the portal here, and it'll start the respawn sequence for the dragon. Now, when we place the 4th one down here, you know what, let's just show you. So, when we place the 4th crystal down here, the block beneath it gets set to fire, which sends a pulse down this redstone line here. This sends a pulse through these large section of repeaters, which is just enough delay to let the entire respawn sequence go up. At the end of that, the redstone will travel up this vertical redstone slime block thing here, and into this ring of TNT dupers here, which have been perfectly timed to all activate at exactly the same time, exploding the TNT right after the dragon spawns. Now, at the exact same time that that's going on, we've also sent a redstone signal to this contraption here, which is actually designed to dupe 4 TNT and squeeze them all into the same block here, and then blow them up right next to where we know the dragon is going to be, because there's a challenge with this thing. We can only damage the dragon with explosions, and we only know where the dragon's going to be at like one point in time, which is right over the center there. So yeah, we compact 4 TNT into the same block to deal as much damage in each explosion as possible. Now we actually just gotta kind of wait for the dragon to... Yes, it is. Okay, so you can see how this thing works just now. Also, you may have seen 2 TNT there. Sometimes one of the TNT fails to align itself properly and will end up being dropped a moment later than the rest. But don't worry, it's all been accounted for. Okay. Genius. Here, I'll help out. This isn't strictly necessary. It will die all by itself if we don't assist it, but this is just because I feel like assisting right now. Anyhow, I guess we time-lapse this thing until it's actually dead, and then... Here it goes, here it goes. Alright, round 2. Now, part of the thing with TNT is that it can actually push the dragon around. And the dragon will continue to try to get to its perching position, but because the TNT keeps pushing it away, it generally has a hard time doing so. This will allow the dragon to effectively be trapped in stasis here, trying to get to its perching position, but keep being damaged and blown away by the TNT itself. And yep, it's dead. Now, here's the thing. Specifically the problem. This will drop a bunch of XP, which is, you know, nice. However, we have a data pack on the server which is supposed to allow the dragon to drop a dragon egg and an elytra, which is part of the reason why I wanted to create this farm, so I could, you know, farm that stuff relatively easily. However, because of the fact that we pack multiple explosions into one, that doesn't happen, because the dragon will be killed by an explosion, and then another explosion immediately deletes the items that spawn before they can be detected by any command blocks. Which, yeah, I'll have to figure out some sort of solution for that. But anyhow, once the dragon dies and the portal respawns, all the fire blocks that were around the outside of the portal just disappear, sending another pulse down this observer, which will once again trigger all the TNT dupers up there, but more importantly shut off the main damage creation device. So yeah, that is the automatic dragon killing device. It was a little bit of work to actually design, as you have to custom design this for each end due to the different like locations and heights of the pillars. Besides data pack or potentially mod work I have to do to try to figure out how to actually get those things to still drop, I think that's about good here. Okay, I think we should do it now, guys. It seems to be getting a little bit angry. Alright, I have made a design for this. I've also prepared the location for it to go, as I figured I'd actually make this the first actual building for my base, and my plan for this season's base is to actually build it like out here over the void, and it looks like Endermen don't spawn when the area is well lit. That is good to know, and I will make sure to light everything up, because I really don't want to have to deal with Endermen everywhere. Anyhow, let's get into another time-lapse now of this building being constructed. And with the placement of this button, it is finished. The altar, and then also the church that I, for some reason, decided to build right alongside the altar. You know, I'm not entirely sure why I did this. I just felt like this was right, and, you know, it's an interior, foremost, which is kind of weird for me, because I usually just build the exterior buildings, and this time I built the interior of a building. It is very weird, but anyhow, hopefully this is up to the standards of the, whatever the heck is giving us those signs, because, I mean, this did take a while to design, build, gather the materials for, you know, all of that stuff. I guess it was up to standards. Okay, taking a look back at these signs here, it does say that it wants me to provide a sacrifice of some sort, so I guess I'll take the signs as a sacrifice, because, I mean, I guess these are their signs. Oh yeah, this is what it looks like from the outside, by the way. Yeah, definitely going to build an exterior around that at some point. And, okay, let's sacrifice these CBI bars, because I don't know why not. they're not very nutritious or anything. I just might as well do so. So, yeah, I guess we'll see how this... Oh, yeah, and this is basically how you enter right now. You come along here inside, you either walk along this very thin thing along the wall, or you come to this tiny door here. Eventually, I want to build like a 3x3 piston door in the back here, but, you know, that's after the exterior is built and I designed in space for that. So anyhow, sacrifice. So I guess I put down... I forgot how large the item models were when dropped on the ground for those. Okay, and then this... And then the signs. Oh, two of them got... Oh, no, they're behind... Okay, it's all behind the box. Let's drop them in the box. Okay, and then I guess sacrifice them, we press this button. Okay, let's try. I got more CBI bars, put them in there. Let's try this again. So, oh, whoever the frick you are who's been sending me these signs, accept this sacrifice.